Hi everyone, and welcome to the book Refuge, and welcome to my February TBR. So February, I already have kind of a hefty list of books that I need to get through. And so if you're not familiar, I'm doing a TBR game this year using a deck of cards and a list of prompts that I made for myself that apply to each of the cards. So what that means is that I'm going to show you the list of books that I kind of need to get through because I've committed them to other people or I really want to read them as soon as I can. And then I deal myself 5 cards, read the prompts, and whichever of these books I can fit into the cards, perfect. Any that I can't, I will still add on at the end, and we'll see how big my TBR gets. You know how it goes with these TBR games. Like, my hope with this is to keep my TBR at or around 5 or 6 books to give myself lots of room to pick up additional books. So far in January, this has worked really well. I just have 2 books left to do on my TBR, which the time I'm filming this, it's about mid-month. But I know all the books that I need to do for next month already. And so that part worked. And I've also read about 8 other books that weren't on my TBR. So that's right. I've read 11 books so far this month. And so I really like that I kept it simple that way. And so that felt pretty good. So we're going to go ahead. I'll show you the books that I kind of want to get through this month. And then we'll go ahead and draw and we'll see how we do. So the book picked by you guys, which I was really shocked actually, is The Lost Crown by Sarah Miller. This will for sure be on the list whether I pull one of these for it or not, because this is going to be our buddy read, which is awesome. This is a retelling of Anastasia as well as her other sisters. And it's about everything that goes down with the Romanovs. So I definitely have to get to that one. Also, I will be buddy reading The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden with Murphy. I have been wanting to read this book for a year, but I buddy read the first 2 with Murphy. They were so much fun to read. Murphy didn't quite like them as much as me, but we're finally going to be doing this one, and so I need to do that one. Next, it's time for Diana Gabaldon book 6, Outlander book 6. This is A Breath of Snow and Ashes, so this needs to happen for sure. Next, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. My friend Becca from Becca's Book Club, she has read this one, but she wants to reread it and then continue the series, so I'm gonna try to do this one with her. And the other Brandon Sanderson I will be reading is Steelheart, which I think is his YA series, and that was picked with Murphy's Book Club as well. And then I realized that it's going to be a triple Brandon month because I also want to get to Starsight, if possible. This one I don't have to do, as well as The Stars We Steal comes out this month. I won this arc 3 months ago, and I still haven't read it yet. I might even try to read this still at the very, I want to try to read this right away at the beginning of February because it comes out February 4th, and I feel so bad that I haven't got to it yet. But since I won it and I didn't ask for the arc, I don't feel too bad. So those are the 6 books that I want to get to, but we shall see what the card does. So as usual, I'll show you this kind of over here. I deal myself 1, ditch 1, deal 1, ditch 1, deal 1, ditch 1. All right, put those over there, and oops. One more, and let's go ahead. So the first one I got is the 4 of Spades. Yes, I will make sure I say the right thing this time. Someone noticed that I did one of the cards wrong, and I said the wrong thing but did the right one. So, oh boy. And this one says read a classic. Shoot, man, shoot. I won't lie, I definitely went for ease of read with this since a lot of these books are very hefty, and I picked The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I don't know a ton about this. I know that there's someone named Ponyboy and that there's a group of outsiders who band together. I think it has to do with found family. I don't know how I'm 26 and I don't actually know completely what this is about. I know there's a movie with Tom Cruise in it maybe way back in the day. But I know Murphy loves this one, and I got the 50th anniversary from Book Outlet a while ago, and so it's on my classics to read this year, so we'll add this to the list. The first official TBR pick. All right. Next up, we have the 8 of Hearts. And the 8 of Hearts says to read a book with no romance, which might be hard based on the ones that I have here. Okay, let's... I believe that I could probably do The Lost Crown for this one, since it's all the sisters together. Because I think all it says is that they flirt with some officers, but I believe it's going to be more about the family than that. So we're going to go with that since I have to read this one anyway. We're going to go with The Lost Crown as the no romance pick. It's so funny because I made this list so long ago to like see what I put in it. All right, we got the King of Diamonds, which is to read a new author, which is literally none of these. Perfect. I just got this book recently. It's one of my newer purchases. It's called Well Met by Jenn, and this is her debut novel. This is about a girl named Emily, and she is relocated to a small town, and she ends up volunteering at a local Renaissance fair, and she ends up having a fling with Simon, who his family owns this Renaissance fair. So let's give this one a go as an author who's new to me. All right, still have a lot of books to get to, and I'm getting nervous. Okay, a 2 of Clubs. See, I'm not lying. All right, what's that one? Oh my gosh. Well, this works. Okay. This works really well. This one tells me to ask Murphy for a recommendation, and I have it on 100% authority that she would tell me to pick this book. So we're going to go with this as Murphy's recommendation, and hopefully the next time I pull that one, it'll be where I can call her and ask her for one. But for this, and for the sake of having an answer for this video, we're gonna go with The Final Empire, because I 100% know she's been wanting me to read this forever, and it just works out that this is one of her like most recommended series, and we're gonna start Mistborn, guys. It's happening. I feel better that I picked one of those. And then the last one, we have a 5 of Clubs. And this one says, oh my gosh. Read a viewer recommendation plus 1 book. Okay, so I have a list of viewer recommendations, and most of them are all historical for me. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go look at that list and pick one, and I'll be right back. One of the historicals on my list, which it's exciting because I also just read this article that had 30 of the greatest historical romances of all time, and this one was on there. We'll see. That's subjective to the person who wrote it, but it was also a viewer recommendation. And so I picked The Bride by Julie Garwood. I believe this one was in the 90s. Let me check. 89. And this one says, by edict of the king, the mighty Scottish laird Alec Kincaid, ooh, I love when they're Scottish, must take an English bride. His choice was Jamie, youngest daughter of Baron Jameson, a feisty violet-eyed beauty. Alec ached to touch her, to tame her, to possess her forever, but Jamie vowed never to surrender to this Highland barbarian. He was everything her heart warned against, and an arrogant scoundrel whose rough looks spoke of savage pleasures, and though Kincaid's scorching kisses fire her blood, she brazenly resisted him, until one rapturous moment quelled their clash of wills, and something far more dangerous than desire threatened to conquer her senses. Oh boy, this will be good. So we're picking The Bride, and then for the plus 1 book, we'll go ahead and do The Winter of the Witch, and then that just leaves me with, we'll put aside these 2, and if you know, I have the time to get to them, we'll do those. But then, of course, I still need to get to A Breath of Snow and Ashes. So, this ended up being quite the stack, but not undoable, obviously. So 7 books out of my 5 cards, so I didn't end up with too many. And there's a few of these that I know will be easy for me to get to. So that is going to do it for my February TBR. Make sure if you want to read The Lost Crown with us that you join my Discord down below. This one should be really fun because I only picked it up because I liked another book that Sarah Miller had wrote. Like, no one has ever talked to me about that book before. So that kind of makes me excited. It's going to be cool. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I put up new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and some other days in between. So please make sure you subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.